Hi. All right, so we're going to talk about trauma today. We're going to talk about how trauma affects your energy, okay? So there's two types of people in this world, okay? People that wake up every day and have energy and they do a lot. They have goals and work at them. They do a lot, okay? And then there's the rest of us that don't really have any energy. My default state is doing nothing, okay? If I'm left of my own device, I'll be scrolling and watching Netflix all day. All right, so these people accomplish all that, okay? And they get better. And then there's me struggling to do anything. I can barely get out of bed, okay? I struggle trying to create new habits, trying to be better, right? So what is the difference, you think, okay? The difference is trauma. When we are born, we don't know anything, okay? We grow and develop and learn from our parents. When we grow up in a traumatic environment, we experience this thing called loss of the future dimension. And it's like this. If I go to my parents and I say, hey mom, can I have a birthday party and invite some of my friends over? And she says, yeah, sure. And the next day, she's down, she can't regulate her emotions, something happened, or, she loses it, okay? And now she's mad. She's mad at me. And she says, Claudia, no more birthday party. Ha 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 ha. So what is happening? When you look at this traumatic upbringing, you'll see that children can't plan for the future, okay? Any kind of autonomy the child expresses, the parent will shut it down. An abusive parent that is hurt will hurt the child by shutting down their autonomy, okay? We see this a lot in Eastern European culture. They say things like, you don't know what you're doing, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you can't do this, we don't have any money for this. It's all about shutting down the child so the child doesn't have a voice. We see so many gifted kids that are completely stalled later in life. That was me. I was paralyzed for a couple of decades. When I grew up in Romania, it was all about survival. When you don't have a schedule, when your parents have no clue what you're doing because they can't bother with you, okay? When you have to take care of your brothers and take care of the house and maybe take care of your mom. It's traumatic, okay? You're a kid and now you have to do this, okay? Here's what's happening. Your brain looks at your day and there's no point of planning for tomorrow. All of your brain resources is all about surviving today. How do I not get abused today? Yesterday I got abused and it hurt. It hurt bad. How do I navigate the day so my parents don't abuse me today? Children that grew up in a traumatic environment learn to be invisible. This is why it feels so unnatural for you to stand up for yourself or ask for things or ask for help, okay? So what happens in the brain is stops planning for the future because you don't know if it's going to be safe tomorrow. Plans can change on a whim, okay? Depending on how your mom or dad's emotions are affecting them at the moment. And if they physically abuse you, then it's all over. Your brain shuts down and makes up a story you tell yourself to keep you alive, okay? You rewrite history for yourself and you lie to yourself to keep yourself safe, okay? I've done that. I'm sure you've done that. I told myself lies and I believed all of them, okay? If it was just a birthday party that got canceled, it hurts. You're shamed, you got to deal with your friends. But if your parent hits you or worse, then your brain goes into shock. Survival mode is physical and mental, okay? we have two states physically. We have our catabolic state where we break things down. We're trying to survive at the moment, okay? And we have an anabolic state where we are building for the future. So back in the day when we used to live in the wild and we encounter predators, we got a burst of cortisol every time we saw a predator. So cortisol breaks down your muscle tissue. So it provides you with enough energy to survive the moment, okay? We are sacrificing the future to survive today. And that's why you can't get ahead, because your body's in a survival mode. And until you get out of this situation and feel safe, you don't have the energy to do anything in the future, okay, to save for the future. This is why most people that argue every day are not successful. This is why those people can't get ahead. That's why those people can't even plan ahead, okay? You see, most successful people have calendars and they plan things, okay? Damaged people can't do that because they can't. It's a constant struggle. They don't plan anything, okay? Their body can't even think about planning anything. They barely have the energy to stay alive, okay? So, energy is everything. Protect your energy from people that are damaged and addicted to cortisol. And with that, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, and don't kill any insects today. Mwah, 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 mwah. This is where we are. Mwah.